Hey guys, it's Michelle with Michelle Creations. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching the final walkthrough of this. If you did miss the first two videos, by all means, check my playlist or my channel in itself. It was earlier in this week that I shared with you how we basically constructed the backing, which is basically a stand for the index card, and then how I started to assemble the pages. I also am going to link again, in case you missed the first two videos, where I was inspired to create this, and that was Alyssa's channel with Crafting to Cope. I'm just so glad I stumbled across it and she shared her creativity because it was like genius. Now these index cards I did pick up from the Dollar Tree before all the price hikes that I'm sure all of us are experiencing. So they were $1.25 in the school supplies section. I don't think it's going to be a year-long product. I think it's a seasonal product. These did have the tabs at the bottom that did have the overhang. I really didn't use these, so I just kept them on the side. But this is it, guys. I finished it. I really wanted to share it with you as to how it all came about. Now in the front, as I mentioned in my second video, I didn't attach the cardstock to cover the entire thing because the index card does have a flap already embedded into the product itself. So I was able to create a little tag, and then I added some twine, ribbon, whatever you want to refer to it as, and then it has a flip. Now, what I decided to do with my index cards, because I created the mechanism in the back to attach to the index card itself, was that when you flip it, you're able to use both sides. Because it is standing on its own little easel, I guess you want to refer to it, you could basically just twirl it. So whichever way you want to view your pictures, and then not only that, you're getting more out of the pages than just 12. You're now getting 24, if I'm doing my math correctly. Yes, 24. I also did some things differently than Alyssa's, where I did have moving mechanisms on my pages. You have a flap on either the right or the left. Some of them go up. So to me, this kind of utilizes more space because these index cards are quite small. I believe it's like 3 1/8 in height and then 5 inches across. So, you know, if you are one that has one of those printers that can print different sizes than a 4x6 and a 5x7, this would work perfectly for someone like that. Or if you want to create it yourself, put the pictures on it and gift it to someone, that also would be amazing too. But I was inspired by Alyssa's channel to try it, number one. And then, so here's another flap. Try it, number one. And then I thought this would have be a great idea for the upcoming holiday, Halloween, for boo bags. I have neighboring kids that I love to gift them with a little, treat for them to enjoy during the holiday season. And so for me, Halloween is just my go-to holiday for them. So this is kind of cute. What I did was I didn't glue this cupcake down all the way, so you do have an option here to go behind it, so that way you could still utilize the whole thing. And then if your picture is larger than the space here, you can definitely put it behind it and not miss that opportunity for that little cute cupcake. So to me, I'm going the opposite direction. To me, I thought this was a great idea to add that my neighboring kids are getting a little older, and that tchotchke stuff that we find at the Dollar Tree or Walmart can only go so far depending on their age. And so I just thought this was a lot of fun. Not only that, I get to use all my stash. I'm trying to make room for new stuff, and I'm realizing you still have to use the old stuff. So I'm just sharing with you all the different opens and close. I sometimes liked how the sentiments with the icons kind of went together. That's the spirit with the ghost. I'm trying to remember which way I had to go because I keep going the opposite direction. Sorry about that. So you definitely will have the repetitiveness of the function, but then your imagery of the collection paper worked. Now, I did use 12 by 12 sheets of paper. I did not use any of the 6 by 6 or 6 by 8 paper pads. I found that the sizing for this collection in regards to the designs weren't too big, that when I sliced the pages down to what it was designed for, it went perfectly. So again, I'm just sharing with you all this stuff. This one again has the opening, so this was an ephemera piece. I believe this is a little sticker. And then again, just trying to give as much real estate as possible for the kids to do stuff. I really like this contrast. I thought it was so cute. And then I just use a decorative border to just give it some flair. So it's not always consistent in regards to what I designed it to be. And then here, hello beautiful. And then you have a little ghosty. This one, I kind of did a different fold where it's not overlapping like the others, and then I kind of took my ephemera bits and kind of overlapped them to be like an overhang, so it kind of gives the illusion that the pages are longer, but they're not. And then you have the little pumpkin patch option, and again it just ties in with all the pumpkins. So I tried to choose my paper to kind of go with the options, but you know, sometimes it didn't always work that way. This one's a sticker, so there's no option to go behind it, but she's just so cute with the little tiny frog. And then here is another trick or treat. Now these here were border strips, but I really liked how when I folded it over that it wasn't upside down, so that's kind of why I went with that. But it's kind of tricky when you're working with double-sided paper where one side is a tag and the other side isn't, or ephemera pieces, or cut aparts. So it's kind of hard to figure out how to best utilize those types of papers when you're working with them like this, because it does limit you in regards to the options to choose. So again, I'm just sharing with you this candy apple, so cool. So this was an ephemera, so it does have it. And then I just tied in the candy haul sentiment with the paper itself. This one, let's just keep going with the candy theme. We have a bunch of candy corn there, which I love candy corn. And then you just flip it over, and then there was a lot of big ephemera pieces. I did have this one as a tuck spot. Obviously you're not going to be able to put an imagery there, but you never know if you want to tuck something in there. That would be kind of cute. And then again, I took that decorative punch and went in a different direction, and then you have all of this to place something there. This one, we have a flip out, and I thought these stacked pumpkins were so cute, and I'm like, oh my god, let's put a little heart symbol there. And then we flip it over. And then this one I thought was kind of cute with the sentiment. Now it did have a little word bubble notch at the bottom, and I just basically took my scissors and just snipped it off. So sometimes, you know, your sentiments or your stickers don't really work for what you're looking for, and so just modifying it slightly, you would never know unless I told you that that's what it was. And then again, just sometimes plain Jane is also good, right? Let me make sure I'm going in the right direction. We flip this way. This is another sticker, so there's nothing open in the back. And then we flip it. So as you can see, there's a lot of pages in here. Like I mentioned, this again is plain Jane, and because there's no flipping around, it's because it's cut aparts on the other side. So that's kind of where I kind of offset the bulk, as I explained in my other videos as well, that you want to be mindful of that. In Alyssa's video tutorial that she showed us how she created hers, that was one topic that she had mentioned, because these index cards come with like a huge stack of paper, of index cards in the folder, the binding. And you really are cutting everything out but 12 pages. And you feel like this feels wrong. But there's a reason for her doing that. And when I was doing it, I was like, okay, now I understand. Because I was like, no, I'm going to have all the pages I want. And then I was making, I realized how thick they were getting. And I think 12 is a perfect number. Could you go to 10? Yes, absolutely. But I really do think 12 is adequate. And as you can see how the paper just expands, or the binding expands because of it. This one I put it on pop foam dots because I really thought it would be cute to raise it up a bit. And then this one, this little spider here, it's on the paper, so I thought that was kind of cute. And then we come to the end. So this is actually the last piece that everything's attached to. So as you can see, how I created the mechanism, I feel is kind of neat. I'm gonna go to town because I found more of these, which I'll share in a later haul video, that I'm just so ecstatic. So these two that I kind of shared with you, so this was my prototype that I shared on Monday, and that's when I kind of explained it was a little too bulky because I wasn't even sure if I would be able to make the mechanism. And then I realized, oh, you want the color to match whatever collection you're using. So again, I did the same exact concept on this one. It's just purple. I used a different Doodlebug Halloween collection. This one here is a different Doodlebug collection, but again, the same mechanism, the same concept. And again, I showed you exactly how I created it on Monday, and you could definitely modify it to anything. You just have to do your measurements. I do feel that it sits fine. The weight of the pages isn't like, what do you call it? Like a bobblehead kind of concept where it tips forward. And as you put the pages behind, again, I feel like it's working fine. Even as you continue to move the pages back, I don't see anything tipping or anything of the sort. This is something nice that the kids or the person you're giving it to, you can put on their nightstand. You can put it in the foyer when they come in the house. You could definitely put this on a side table in the living room. So I'm just so excited, obviously, as you can tell. So if you do have any questions at all, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you may have. But again, once you get started and once you understand the mechanics, it's pretty simple. And to fold it down, as I shared with you earlier this week, you know, it does have a little bit bulk, so it can lay flat. If you wanted to create a band around it to keep it secure, you probably could do that with an elastic band and then some beads to make it decorative. But you know, you could always leave it out year round. You don't have to do it holiday theme. You could do it birthdays. You can do like a baby shower, wedding. You know, sky's the limit. I'm just sharing with you Halloween because the season's here and I want to get a jump start because I have a lot going on in October, 2 retreats, which I'm realizing I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all the stuff I want to do, but I'm going to try. And then the boo bag. So I definitely wanted to share this project with you guys in case you're interested to do one yourself for the holiday season, whether it's Halloween, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever holiday you celebrate, or a birthday, or a pet adoption. I mean, anything. So anyways, I will let you guys go. If you do have any questions, please let me know. If you just want to say hi, I would love to hear from you. And you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next video. So take care.